Okay, it's part 3 of January 8th, 2012, watching someone die slowly. Like I said, you people, and there, and when I say you people, there's that many that are looking at my tapes. Um, for some reason, there's like only a little less than 500 people that have looked at my tape, any of my tapes, from the beginning of when they came to my house at DeSoto and Hart and violated my civil rights there, of which I don't have the money to hire a $300 an hour blood-sucking lawyer. And then you're fighting a time clock. As soon as you claim someone's violating your civil rights, then you're stuck with fighting them forever. It's, you know. So what do I have to account for all my years of working? Do I have anything to account for? No, I have nothing to account for it. And the reason is because of you people. I happen to have a psychology textbook from college. It's dated 2008, and it was under the section of culture. Bernstein is one of the people that wrote, one of the authors. And under cultures, it mentions that there are two types of cultures. There's cultures with individualist, and then there are cultures that are collective, group, conglomerate. What they call in big city life clustering, the cluster theory. And just like gazelles all move in herds, and fish move in schools of herds, schools of fish, so do people. They, in the rush hour traffic, there's your school of fish right there. All people going into this one place, working to pay a rent, who in turn pays the bank, who in turn pays the mortgage. Look at what you people are doing. It's an insanity. Joe Stack was right when he flew that plane into that Austin, Texas building. In his 5-page letter, he says, insanity is doing the same thing over and over again, thinking you will get different results. And that is what you people are doing, instead of changing it completely. No, you listened. You had your chance in 2008. I ran for president when I was in that house. And before that I ran. Yet the media is the biggest culprit here. They don't give equal publicity to people like me. They only do it to people like, last time they did that was for Ross Perot. And he was a rich man. I mean, he spent millions of dollars on his campaign. Why should anybody have to spend, if they don't have to spend any money to list themselves as running for president, why should they have to spend any money to campaign? And when I ran for mayor of Los Angeles, I had to pay $300 because I couldn't get not enough people knew me to sign. I don't have any friends, not really. I have acquaintances, but only 5 or so that I know, and none of them am I around every day. It's not like family. So it's just really ridiculous, the whole thing. And it's like, you can't be anywhere and record things without there being something wrong. So anyway, in this particular tape, you already know what I'm doing. We're in 4 minutes into the tape. I can tell you that whatever beings we're having to deal with, I'll back up in a minute and talk about my friend who actually reads the Quran. He's interpreting the Quran into English. And a lot of people really want to see this. And that all this stuff that you hear on TV about the Quran and the bad stuff and stoning of women, none of that is in the Quran. It doesn't do any of that. Matter of fact, it abhors violence, supposedly. I mean, that's what he says. He's interpreting it. Direct interpretation of the Quran. So, but these are religions that are based on philosophy. In that psychological book, I was looking at a graph, and it says that failures for an individualist are caused by other people, by outside influences. But failures for people who are collective, those are caused by themselves. So you figure out which is the best to be: an individualist who believes in individuality, or a group theory type person. But beyond that, you're you're not taking advice from the right people. You're allowing these people to institute wars, to coin money. We should all coin our own money in every state of the union. Why? Because the government just doesn't have it. I mean, they believe that in one hand they'll say sovereignty, okay? If someone violates your rights, you have to fight for it at the fight. Listen to that word again. Forced to fight for a civil right that an authority figure like police are supposed to know? No. You got it all wrong. But fight for your rights at the local level, and then hire some attorney, become a slave to an attorney to fight for your civil rights and prove it finally in the Supreme Court. Your whole system is screwed, okay? It is insanity, because you've all been doing the same thing over and over again, even before and during all of the major wars, World War I, World War II, the Civil War even. You're all doing the same thing, pursuing the same inevitable end result, which is chaos. Chaos with a little bit of organization here and there. And then forcing people to live certain lifestyles within a certain time frame. Oh, everybody has to adhere to this time frame, or else we'll come tow your cars, we'll come shut you down, we'll come evict you, we'll come destroy your life. Well, you've already destroyed mine. I don't have anybody to have faith in. I don't have anybody that that will vouch for me or offer any protection for me. I'm going to die without ever seeing any of my hard-working labor equity efforts that took decades, and not without intentional, wanful, harmful interference by people in authority at state, federal, and local levels. You're all evil. There's no doubt about it. I certainly will very, very much so be glad when I die. I'll be happy, because I'm finally leaving a place that never gave me a chance. They just ruined my life. It didn't pay attention to me. Nobody wanted to hear my ideas. And that's fine by me. I don't care if the majority of people believe that I'm that much of a person that should be neglected. Then the least you could have done for me many years ago is to help me leave with my hard worked for possessions, with all the kinetic energy that I spent holding on to my possessions should have been preserved, and I should have been given an opportunity to leave. And I tried finding people. I tried going to these philanthropist organizations. I even have a big book about this thick. It lists all the philanthropist organizations. Oh, and they have, here we go again, procedure fanatics. Oh, we have this procedure we can't follow. Percy Ross, I sent him many times letters. I'd like to leave Mr. Ross before he died. You're a philanthropist. Could you send me some money so I can pack up all my things and go someplace else? No, nobody wanted to help. Oh, we can't help everyone, blah, blah, blah. They'd send a standard card. There's so many people that ask us for help, but not, I bet you that if you checked every one of Percy Ross's mail, none of them were saying, could you help me get out of this crappy country? Because it's always been crappy for me. And maybe it was supposed to have been. Maybe looking back on it, maybe that's how I could have benefited the planet. But the planet doesn't want me to leave. They want to kill me slowly. They want to see me die. Well, you're going to get the chance to do that, because it's very sensitive to the touch. I was at one of these future tapings. I'm presuming you're going to see my chin, swell up, When you see that, I've got an infection running through my body. When you see that, there you go. Something like that. Then you'll know I've got an infection, and there's probably pus and It's running through my bloodstream, and eventually my immune system will just give up because it can't keep fighting that much infection, and then I'll end up in the hospital, and you won't hear anything from me ever again. I don't know if the hospital will have a computer there, where I could continue doing YouTubes so you can watch me die, since that seems to be what makes people happy here in this country, watching people die. You see it on the news all the time, and then they turn around and say, oh, and they give you sprinkles of positive news and sprinkles of bad news, and they mix it all together in one big pot with eggs on top and a dinner mint afterwards, like in Monty Python's Meaning of Life, before they vomit all over you with their philosophies and their interferences and their mangling of other people's lives. I don't even think a jury is qualified to sit in judgment of any of the criminals, because they've all paid, like I said, paid the same money to the military and killed innocent men, women, and children. They don't have a right to sit in on a jury and decide the fate, life or death of a person who's murdered someone. Like that Kathy Gifford, she gets shot. If I'd been in her place, I would have wanted the guy to kill me, because if now that I'm shot, I'd want to die. I'd say, why continue living? Here's my chance. I can just go, and it's over with. Some nutcase comes and uses guns. I have a plan that would minimize violence, at least from guns, and it wouldn't be by taking guns away. I said this on VoteSmart. I said that I had a new plan for working a gun system where everyone could own guns. No, not a problem. Not a problem. But there would be some added things that I would add to the new laws that would make it very difficult for anyone to commit an act of violence with a gun ever again. Period. But you people, like I said, I'm not going to tell you what it is. Screw all of you. Go to hell. You didn't listen to me about my spherical oil tanker that would have stopped oil spills, God, more than 30 years ago, for both my twin and me. It would have stopped all the oil spills from ever happening. Or the water recycling system that would have changed the face of the planet, especially in drought areas. Or any of my inventions that I have never had a chance to work on because my life has been persecuted continually from any property I've ever been. Private property, street property, business park property, any place I was. Didn't matter. They came after me. Building and safety, parking enforcement. They took my cars, my boats, my motor. They took all of my labor equity. Everything I've ever saved, everything I've ever had, even my memoirs, it's all gone. Now I'm in storage lockers where I don't know how long that's going to last. Well, I'm into 13 minutes into this, and so I might as well end this taping. I have to go off and see if I can find a place where I can sit down and gum or gnaw on something to eat. I haven't eaten all day. It's 1:20 here in California. I don't eat normal breakfasts like everybody else. I don't have a steady diet because I have no place to do it. And if I was offered a place, it'd have to be a castle because I deserve it. And I wouldn't have to pay 1 penny of rent or mortgage or anything because that's what you people owe me. The sun, the moon, and the stars for violating my life and destroying my life over and over again. Even destroyed my relationships. I can't have a relationship with anyone. What woman would want to be with a man who has been damaged so badly that they could never repair what's been done to me? And there isn't a doctor in the world, not even the universe, can repair. The only one that can repair it is if Jehovah really exists, and if Jehovah came to wherever I'm sleeping and helped me wake up tomorrow morning, 16 years old, then I'd be happy. Then I'd say, hey, I got a second shot, and I don't have to think about all the bad people that did me damage, and I can start all over again with whatever I have left. I still would want to have whatever I have left and look for another place to live, and maybe that would teach people a lesson to leave me alone. See you later. Bye.